Hello everyone, Inceptor 57. We're back again, War Thunder Dev Server 1.69. I'm going to be doing a little bit different first impression because I can't do a full dedicated video on every single tank, and this is basically just pre-recorded footage of me talking over. So this is the M60A2 STARSHIP, basically an M60 pattern chassis with a different turret mounting a 152mm gun launcher. And you know, it's showing you the armor here, and armor is basically the same as the M60 pattern. You know, it's got a whole the front sloping armor, and it's actually the bomb part's the same. It's the difference of the turret, and you know, all these little flat area in turret makes it a lot more vulnerable. But I guess that's one of the trade-offs for having a missile launcher on the thing. You know, and here we see the engine. It's not that bad. You know, about like 20 horsepower per ton, and that's not very bad compared to other vehicles in the game. Here we see the inside. It's got the crew compartment, you know, the 4 crew members and all the ammo stored around, so you got a nice fireworks show if you get penetrated. And this thing's got 8 smoke dischargers and 2 machine guns to play around with. And yeah, here we go to the test drive. And yeah, I got a fast turret rotation even when stock, and here I am just playing around with the commander's cupola machine gun and demonstrating how much of a terrible shot I am. I can't hit that plane once, apparently. But I can hit the ground with the coaxial, so that's fun. And here I'm showing the gun elevation, 20 degrees in height. I think that's standard for most US tanks. And then here's the gun depression, negative 10 degrees. And you can see just how responsive the gun laying was. It just instantly kind of zipped towards there. I don't know how different it is in each one, but it might just be the gunner, how I trained him. I mean, this is one of my best trained crew. But in here you can see the speed is quite fantastic. I mean, I know I'm on an arcade, but you know, it's nothing to slouch. It is a stock modification, remember that. And it's got the 2-point stabilizer. You can see, like, look how smooth the reticle is while moving left and right. Here I turn off a bit so you can see it bounce, but I turn it back on. And you know, otherwise it's an okay tank, you know. Oh yeah, there's neutral steer. Tank's got neutral steer, gotta have that. Otherwise, you're a bit lacking in the automotive department. Look at you, Soviet tanks. But anyways, you know, M60A2, it's quite innovative. It's kind of the Sheridan on a beefed up Sheridan in a way, and it wasn't very popular in history due to its technological disadvantages. I mean, it is advanced, but it just had so many problems, especially with the gun and its system that carried over from the Sheridan. And okay, first of all, here I am just checking out the smoke dischargers. You got 8 of them. Although when you send them out, it doesn't look like there's 8 smoke puffs. I'm not so sure. Maybe I'm not counting correctly. It looks like 5 or 6. But you know, smoke, does give you the option for smoke, and it does conceal you, so that's good. Especially with a big tank as this, that needs to hide once in a while. HE shell is good for what it does. So basically, the M60A2 is one of the U.S. Army's testing. We in the Cold War, we weren't really so sure if kinetic or missile launch projectiles was the way to go. So M60A2 was kind of born of that. That hey, maybe missile armed tanks will work. And here it is, and yeah, I don't know why that was a big miss. But I guess the bigger round tends to do that, especially when you don't have adjustment of fire. So I'm trying HE against the Panther, and this is before I knew it can only penetrate 37mm. So I'll just be trying fruitlessly to penetrate on the side, which is 40mm, before I try getting through the whole roof. But yeah, so the US was testing it. They took the 152mm design from the Sheridan. It didn't really work out in the pattern. There was lots of issues in terms of making the turret work properly. They really wanted this to work because they were working with Germany on the MPT-70 project, which used the same gun, and it didn't work out. So that's a problem. And that might have been one of the reasons why a full mean battle tank with a missile launcher just didn't work out, unlike the Soviets with the T6, T72, T90, all that future stuff. So the heat round is quite potent. You know, if you manage to get a hit, it does penetrate a lot of armor, 350, I think. And you know, penetrating 80mm side of the Tiger II is no biggie, but you can penetrate the front places. That's fun. 354 millimeters. That what it says right there in the text. Because yeah, and there's a Tiger, so I could test out the lethality more than once for failsafe or something. I don't know. Of course, I don't fight Tigers a lot in battle, so I'm not really so sure with internals. I'm just showing you to penetrate through the front armor, really. But basically, M60A2 is pretty great. It's got an M60 bottom. It's got the Sheridan's gun, and you did sacrifice turret armor, but let's face it, with the recent things, turret is probably going to be the most targeted target on this tank, anyways. And yeah, that's basically it. It's a little first impression. I think it's a fine tank, and certainly think it'll be interesting. Oh yeah, and so basically after all that, I managed to find something interesting, is that you can use the machine gun bullets to lead where your rounds will land. So you can see that the heat round just landed right with the machine guns. Anyways, thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the next one. Subscribe if you want to see more, and like this video if you like this pattern. See ya.